My name is Reagan Carter, and 5 years ago, my parents told me I wasn't good enough for the family business. "You're too emotional, honey," my mother Patricia said, not even looking up from her phone. "Trevor has the business instinct. You should focus on, I don't know, maybe teaching?" My father Richard nodded along. "Your brother's getting the company. It's already decided." I was 25, had an MBA from Stanford, and had just presented a tech integration proposal that could have saved their struggling investment firm millions. Trevor was 22, had barely graduated, and spent his trust fund on cars. "But Dad, I've been working here for 3 years, I said. "I know this company inside and out." "And Trevor will need someone to answer phones," Patricia said. "You can stay on as his assistant if you'd like." I left that day and never looked back. Building my own tech company from scratch was brutal. 18-hour days, ramen dinners, sleeping in my office. But I had something to prove. Within 2 years, my AI-driven investment platform was valued at $3 billion. By year 4, I'd sold it for $8 billion. My parents never called. Not once. Then their firm started circling the drain. I watched from afar as they made terrible decisions, gave Trevor positions he wasn't qualified for, and hemorrhaged clients. "The Ashford Group needs a $5 billion capital injection or they'll collapse," my financial advisor Derek Thompson told me over coffee. "They're looking for an anonymous investor." I smiled. "Set up a shell corporation. I want controlling interest." "Reagan, these are your parents," Derek said carefully. "Exactly," I replied, "and I want them to beg me for money without knowing it's me." The deal closed within a month. My shell corporation, Horizon Capital LLC, became the majority shareholder. I attended board meetings via video call, voice disguised, identity hidden. For 6 months, I watched my parents squander my money. Trevor got a VP title he didn't earn. Patricia bought a vacation home for client entertainment. Richard leased a private jet. "The anonymous investor is asking for a full board meeting," Derek told me last week. "They want to meet in person." "Tell them Horizon Capital's representative will be there," I said. "And Derek, make sure my parents and Trevor are in that room." "You're really doing this?" he asked. "They told me I wasn't good enough," I said. "Time to show them exactly how good I am." Jessica Williams, my attorney, spread documents across my dining table. "You have controlling interest, 51% ownership through Horizon Capital," she explained. "They can't remove you or outvote you." "What about Trevor's position?" I asked. "He's been given 7 promotions in 5 years, despite losing clients and missing targets," Jessica said. "I've documented everything. You have grounds to terminate him." Derek joined us via video call. "I've been tracking their spending. Since your investment, they've burned through $400 million on non-essential expenses." "Show me," I said. He pulled up spreadsheets. Patricia charged $3 million to the corporate card for consulting services that don't exist. Richard's jet lease costs $200,000 monthly. Trevor's salary is $850,000 for a position that should pay $120,000. "They're stealing from me," I said quietly. "Technically, yes," Jessica confirmed. "You could pursue criminal charges." "No," I said. "I want something better. I want to watch their faces when they realize who saved their company." Jessica smiled. "The board meeting is tomorrow at 2 p.m. I've notified all members that Horizon Capital's principal will attend in person." "Do my parents know?" I asked. "They think you're just another representative," Derek said. "Richard actually told the board he's planning to ask for another $2 billion. I laughed. "Of course he is." "One more thing," Jessica said. "I've drafted removal documents for Richard, Patricia, and Trevor. The board can vote immediately after your reveal." "Will they vote with me?" I asked. "I've spoken to several members confidentially," Derek said. "They're fed up. Your parents have been arrogant and reckless. They'll support new leadership." That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying my mother's words. "You're too emotional." My father's dismissal. "Trevor will need someone to answer phones." The next morning, I chose my outfit carefully. A tailored navy suit, The same designer brand my mother loved. My hair pulled back, professional. The diamond earrings I'd bought myself after my first billion. You look powerful, Jessica said when she picked me up. I feel powerful, I replied. We arrived at the building I'd once worked in as an intern, then an analyst, then the daughter they didn't want. The receptionist didn't recognize me. We're here for the board meeting, Jessica said. Horizon Capital. Top floor, conference room A, the receptionist said. They're expecting you. In the elevator, my heart pounded. You ready? Jessica asked. I've been ready for 5 years, I said. The elevator doors opened. The conference room fell silent when I walked in. Richard stood at the head of the table, mid-sentence. Patricia sat to his right, Trevor beside her. 5 board members lined the other side. Who are you? Richard demanded. I'm the representative from Horizon Capital, I said calmly, taking a seat. Please, continue. Patricia squinted at me. Don't I know you? Perhaps, I said. I have one of those faces. Trevor was scrolling through his phone, barely paying attention. Typical. Richard cleared his throat. As I was saying, we need additional capital. Another $2 billion investment to expand our European operations. That's interesting, I said. Given that you've burned through $400 million of our existing investment in 6 months. The room tensed. Those were necessary operational expenses, Patricia said sharply. A $3 million vacation home in Aspen? I asked, sliding a document across the table. Charged to the company card as consulting services? Patricia's face went white. Or the private jet lease, I continued, costing $2.4 million annually when commercial flights would suffice? Those are business necessities, Richard blustered. Really? I turned to Trevor. And what about your salary, Mr. Carter? $850,000 for a VP position you've held for 2 years, despite losing 40% of your client portfolio. Trevor finally looked up from his phone. Who the hell are you? I'm the person who owns 51% of this company, I said. And I'm done watching you 3 drain my investment. Jessica placed another stack of documents on the table. Financial records, expense reports, client loss documentation. It's all here. Board member Nathan Cooper spoke up. We've been concerned about spending for months. Richard, you said the investor approved these expenses. They did, Richard insisted. Horizon Capital never objected. Because I was watching, I said. Documenting. Waiting. Patricia stood. This is outrageous. We built this company from nothing. You built it, then almost destroyed it, I said. You needed $5 billion to survive. I gave you that money, and you spat on it. We don't have to listen to this, Trevor said. We're family. This company is ours. I smiled. Funny you should mention family. I stood and walked to the head of the table. My name is Reagan Carter, I said. Richard and Patricia's daughter, Trevor's sister. The room exploded. That's impossible, Patricia gasped. Reagan doesn't have that kind of money. Actually, I do, I said calmly. I built a tech company from nothing, sold it for $8 billion, and invested $5 billion into saving yours. Richard's face turned red. You're Horizon Capital? I am, I confirmed, and I've been watching you waste my money for 6 months. Trevor jumped up. This is some kind of trick. Sit down, Trevor, Jessica said coldly, or security will remove you. Board member Sarah Mitchell spoke carefully. Reagan, is this true? You're the anonymous investor? Derek, send the verification documents, I said. Derek, joining via video screen, pulled up the incorporation papers, bank transfers, and ownership certificates. Horizon Capital LLC is wholly owned by Reagan Carter. She holds 51% of Ashford Group as of 6 months ago. Patricia's hands shook. Why would you do this to us? Do this to you? I repeated. You told me I wasn't good enough. You gave everything to Trevor and left me nothing. You're our daughter, Richard shouted. We loved you. You never even called me, I said quietly. Not once in 5 years. Not to see how I was doing. Not to apologize. Nothing. Nathan Cooper cleared his throat. Miss Carter, what are your intentions? I'm exercising my rights as majority shareholder, I said. I'm calling for an immediate vote to remove Richard Carter as CEO, Patricia Carter as COO, and Trevor Carter as VP of Client Relations. You can't do this, Trevor screamed. This is our company. No, I said. It's my company. You just work here. Well, worked here. Sarah Mitchell raised her hand. I vote yes to all 3 removals. Yes, Nathan agreed. Yes, said board member Amanda Brooks. Within minutes, all 5 board members had voted. My parents and brother were out. Patricia started crying. Reagan, please, we made a mistake. We should have supported you. You should have, I agreed. But you didn't. You chose Trevor. You chose money. You chose your pride. Richard's voice cracked. We can fix this. Give us another chance. That's what I asked for 5 years ago, I said. You said no. Now I'm saying no. Trevor lunged toward me. You vindictive bitch! Security grabbed him immediately. Escort him out, I told them. As they dragged Trevor toward the door, he kept screaming. This isn't over. We'll sue you. You can try, Jessica said coolly. But you'll lose. And it'll cost you everything you have left. Patricia grabbed my arm. Please, honey, we're your parents. We love you. I pulled away gently. If you loved me, you would have shown it when it mattered. Richard stood defeated. What happens now? You'll receive your severance packages according to your contracts, I said. You'll have 30 days to vacate your offices. And you'll never work in this industry again. I'll make sure of it. You're destroying us, Patricia whispered. No, I said. I'm giving you exactly what you gave me 5 years ago. Nothing. Nathan stood and extended his hand. Welcome to Ashford Group, Miss Carter. We look forward to working under your leadership. Thank you, I said, shaking it. Our first priority is cleaning up this mess and rebuilding client trust. Sarah smiled. We're behind you completely. As my parents walked toward the exit, Patricia turned back one last time. We're sorry, Reagan. We're so sorry. I know, I said. But sorry doesn't give me back 5 years. Sorry doesn't erase what you said to me. And sorry doesn't mean I have to forgive you. The door closed behind them. Derek's voice came through the speaker. Well done, boss. Jessica squeezed my shoulder. How do you feel? Powerful, I said. Finally, powerful. I didn't come back for revenge. I came back for justice. There's a difference. Revenge is emotional, destructive, petty. Justice is strategic, righteous, earned. I worked for 5 years to build something they said I never could. I saved their company when they couldn't save themselves. And I took control because I'd earned it, not because I was family. They taught me I wasn't good enough as their daughter, so I became good enough as their boss. Have you ever had to prove wrong the people who were supposed to believe in you most? What would you have done in my position? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.